Welcome back, everybody. As you may notice, this is a different park. In fact, I'm not sure what was going on with the other park, but it simply will not get above 15 FPS anymore. And I've tried all kinds of things and just nothing was working. So I started over. Now, this video is technically going to pick up where my last one ended. I had already kind of built this building on the other park, but I think it was part of the problem that was causing it to crash and just not run well. I had built the sides, as you can see here, these slope sides. I had actually built them out of the concrete pillar, and it made it about 2,000 piece building, and I think that was part of the problem. But even after deleting the building, the FPS still wasn't coming back, so I'm really not sure what was wrong with the old park. Anyway, enough about the old park. Let's talk about the new hotness. Alright, so I started on the Saltlake Valley map and just went and deleted everything that the game started with. And now I've started on the World Pavilion that is going to be the centerpiece for the park. I kind of had an idea of building an Epcot type park. I think I've mentioned that in my other videos. And I really wanted something that would sit in the center area of the park and just kind of tie all the separate areas together. And so I decided on building this giant round building that kind of takes after Space Mountain a little bit, but it's obviously much larger. And I wasn't entirely sure what I wanted to do with the interior of it, and you will see that later on in the video what I ended up doing, and I think it came out pretty well. Now, as you can see, the way I'm building this circular building is by taking these single pieces and then simply copying them and putting them around at 15-degree angles and connecting them together to make a circular building. I will probably be using this technique quite a bit in some of the other parts of the park. I was really trying to find a way to create round or pointed like spires and towers for the German area of my last park, and I'm still trying to figure out a way to do that with this new park, and I think this is what I'm going to have to end up doing, simply copying these single pieces and forming my own circular building. And now I've moved on to working on the interior. I wasn't really sure what I was going to do at first, and I had a few ideas, but I ended up settling on creating a stage that would go in the center of the building and then trying to find ways to put some amenities, bathrooms and food stalls around the interior of the building to help fill it out some. Now, as this time lapse is going by, I think I'm just going to talk a little bit about what I want to do with the front of the park. I'm thinking of creating the entrance area in a very modern style, just to really differentiate it from the rest of the park. I kind of have some ideas what I want to do with the front of the park. I'm definitely going to have some administrative buildings and area and like guest service type buildings. Now, there obviously isn't going to be anything in them right now. Hopefully there'll be some of those types of buildings added later in the game, probably when it fully releases. But I'm going to have the facades anyway, just to sort of make it look like a real park. I really kind of want to go for realism for this park, and I'm definitely going to have administrative areas, behind the scenes areas that I'm going to try and cover up with facades and scenery, but also try to keep the park somewhat realistic. I've been watching and looking at a lot of videos and pictures of what other people have done, and it's given me a lot of ideas for the different areas of the park. I'm thinking at least I'm going to have a Japanese area, possibly an Alpine area, and a European German sort of village area. I may also do some sort of Mayan or Western theme. It just depends on how much space I have and how I'm feeling when I get to those areas. I'm just going to let the time lapse go on its own for a bit now. When I got to this point in the build, I was trying to figure out how I was going to do the pathing. I was hoping I could just elevate the path one tick for height elevation and just run it around on the inside of the building. However, the path just wouldn't cooperate, and especially with trying to put these two restrooms at the front of the building, it just wouldn't connect the way I needed it to. So what I ended up doing was deleting the entire floor of the building, and I created a path plaza inside the entire building. And actually it came out really nice. You'll see that later on. And right there you saw that was one of the 2 or 3 times my game actually crashed while recording. And we'll get back to the music now. We've basically reached the end of the video now, and just doing a few final things for lighting. And I went to the nighttime here to show off just how cool the lighting looks around the building on the outside and the inside. And you can see just how cool this effect looks using the white and red spotlights on the outside of the building. And there's also some green ones lower down. But then the stage, I thought, is really cool, especially with all the different colored lights that I have aiming down onto the stage and against the backdrop. It just creates a really different look. And the lights around the seating areas on the sides of the stage, and also the lighting shooting up against the inside of the curved structure, it all just looks really nice. And then you have these lighted signs, the small lights down in the corners of the stage. It's really cool looking. And that's it for this video. In the next video, I'm going to be adding some buildings to the inside of this, the World Pavilion here. And I think it'll be pretty much done once I get that finished. There's also some additional lighting I need to take care of for the ground area. As you can see, it's really dark at night. So yeah, if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in the next video.